Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, the 17th of May. Welcome back. I hope you all had a lovely weekend, despite it being a little bit rainy. It's lovely to see you all, and it's my assembly again. So I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. Okay, so let's just put that on like that. Right, good morning, everyone. Now, as you are aware, our core value this half term is collaboration, and I know Mrs. Ray did your assembly last week as well. Just as a reminder, to collaborate means to work with another person or group in order to achieve or do something, and often that is something you can achieve or something you can achieve within a group that you might not be able to do on your own. So we have looked a little bit into how perhaps humans can collaborate and skills we need to collaborate well, but I wanted to look this week into the animal kingdom. I was inspired by the chicks that we had and how everybody pulled together over the last couple of weeks to help look after them, to keep them happy, that they were taken out. Everyone was so gentle and kind to them. And I think that really showed how well we are able to collaborate at Forest, as well as the kindness that we can show each other and to our animals. So I'm going to look at a different animal this week. I want to think about the geese. Now, we have geese that come visit us every year on our field that look very, very similar to this. And it is lovely when they arrive. They're a huge, huge gaggle, and they can be seen kind of wandering around. They all kind of arrive together and then they all leave together. But we are one of their stopping off points, and we're very honoured that they come every year and stay with us for a short time at Forest. Now, I was thinking it won't be long before we start seeing them, and we can learn a huge amount from the geese that come to Forest, all about collaboration and teamwork. And I'm going to let you know what those things are. Now, for those of you that have ever stood and watched the geese take off and noticed that pretty soon they organise themselves into a V formation with the point at the front. Now, there is a very good reason for this. It means that if the geese fly in a V formation, they are able to fly 70% further than if they were to fly on their own. Now, that is the equivalent of one goose being able to fly, say, 100 miles before it gets tired, and they can fly a huge long way. If they fly as a group, if they fly with their skein, which is what a group of geese are called up in the air, then they can almost double that to 170 miles. So they really can, by collaborating with each other, do much, much more than what they can do on their own. So there are also other things that keep the geese together. So if a goose does drop out of that V formation, the effort that it takes to fly, because it's got so much more wind resistance without kind of being in the flow of the goose in front of it, it tires itself so much more quicker that it eventually, probably only after a minute or even a few seconds, drops back into the formation. So they realize pretty soon that they are safer together. Life is easier together than it is apart. Occasionally, a goose may be unwell or tired or injured, and that will cause them to drop out of the V formation. Now, what I found really interesting is that if the other geese notice that, then two geese will go with that goose to look after it. They will honk at it to encourage it, and they'll either support it until it feels rested enough to rejoin the group, or they will stay with it and maybe stop with it so that it has time to have a rest. So I love that as well, that even if there's one that might be older than the others, that is tired, that is injured, the other geese make sure that they look after it during that time as well. Now, what is also really interesting is that the geese don't stay in the same formation throughout their journey. So the goose right at the front takes on the most effort. So that goose, the one right at the front here, is working the hardest. All of the other geese behind don't have to flap quite as hard, because the goose in the front, it's all to do with the airflow that goes over the geese when they're flying. So what they do is, when the goose at the front starts to get tired, then they swap. They take it in turns to lead the scheme. Which is also fantastic. So everybody shares the load, the extra load of being at the front. Okay, I suppose it's a bit like, I don't know, if you are, oh, I know what I've done a few times, is if you're pushing a car, if there is a group of you pushing a car, after a while your arms get really tired. If a car's broken down and you need to push it, you know, where it needs to go, or maybe to jump start it. But if you've got a group of you, and one of you can sort of push it for a little while, and another one takes over and another one takes, you can keep the car rolling and not get exhausted. It's a bit like that. So they all take it in turns to be the leaders. Another great example of collaboration. Now, geese also honk at each other. They honk encouragement. So a bit like, for example, on sports day, when your friends are running and you're cheering them on, geese do that to get everybody up, keep everybody up in the air, keep everybody motivated and energized to keep going on the long distances. So I'm just going to play you, see if you can hear the geese honking. Oh, it's not going to work. Hang on a second. Oh, it's so annoying. Okay, I've had a bit of a play around and I think it's now going to work. Look how they organise themselves as well. Fantastic. Okay, I hope you could hear all of that there. Now, I found this fantastic video. It's not very long, that puts everything that I've just been talking about into a short video about geese. So hopefully you will remember some of the things I've spoken about, and now you can kind of see some of them in action. So let's go. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Now, I hope also that when our geese do arrive, that you remember this assembly and think how amazing the creatures are and how they have helped us this half term to learn about collaboration. Now, before I go, I just want to give a quick reminder about reading passports at Forest Academy. It was very exciting last week because I gave out a diamond passport to be completed and a couple of others, I think a gold and a platinum, in fact. So I would like you all to have a good search. If you haven't got yours in your reading record, please try and find it. If you can't find it, please ask your teacher for a new one because they're all saved on the shared drive and they can be printed out really easily. Just a reminder, so we start at bronze. And for every 5 minutes of reading you do at home, you can ask an adult at home to just initial the box. And then when you complete each passport, you can either give it to your teacher or you can drop it down to me and we can give you your certificate and your next reading passport. So just a reminder, we start with bronze. Some of you are on silver, which is fantastic. We've got some on gold, which is the next one, platinum, and finally, the diamond reading passport. Now, once you have completed your diamond reading passport, then you become one of our reading ambassadors. And I know that Ms. Coombs was meeting with some of our reading ambassadors last week to have a chat about what we can do as a school. So you'll become a leader in the school as a reading ambassador of how we can promote reading further. Now, it is really important that everybody finds their reading passport this week. So please do take a look. I'd like everyone to make sure that you have one before half term so that you can get lots of reading done. We've got 2 weeks before half term. And I'm hoping to have lots of passports come to my door as well this week so I can give out lots of certificates because every book contains a new adventure. Reading is one of my most favourite things to do. I've always got 4 or 5 books by my bed on the go. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have a book to read. So let's have a really big push this week. Anyway, I am going to leave you now. I hope you all have a fantastic week. I hope you remember this fantastic proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And I think that also has been taught to us by the geese this morning. So have a great week and I shall see you around the school. Bye-bye.